Hello, everyone. Um, Welcome to another session of Exactly Charming. Today, I'm actually doing a small knowledge sharing and something that I wanted to share with you guys. Identify your opinions and feedback on a recent trend that I've seen. I want to talk about and see how are your thoughts on that. So, as business analysts, we follow different methodologies when we are doing or gathering requirements. We follow various methods, and Agile and Waterfall are the main two methods that we have been using to gather requirements in many situations. So, Agile, of course, is more of a iterative, then and there requirements gathering and to process based functionality. For what I mean by process is it's very iterative. The requirements are not finalized at the start of it. All the requirements are not finalized at the start. You incrementally develop the product by getting requirements through sprints, sprint grooming, refinement and grooming, and then doing iterative sprints, and finally realizing products through a set of sprints. And of course, waterfall is like getting the requirements in at the first instance itself, getting all the requirements finalized at the first instance itself, and then doing the development. It's a step-by-step approach. So you don't go back to the previous mode once the. So based on these things, what I feel is currently organizations have moved on to a stage where it was initially a separate process, right? Agile and Waterfall are separate processes. But now organizations have gone to this kind of a hybrid model, right? So where the Agile and Waterfall processes methodology are mixed together. It's like a hybrid model. So is this a good trend? Personally, I feel it is not a good because stop the organization from having a clear plan, getting the final product out and finalizing the function and the requirements and team members who develop the product. But it has become a trend, it has become a hybrid model where teams have started to mix both around. For example, if you take in terms of requirements, organizations try to get the requirements finalized at the start, and all the requirements finalized at the start, and then do the development in incremental steps. Then again, vice versa. Sometimes the developers stay idle. They want all the requirements to be finalized before they do any development to start. They don't want to do development on the sprint in sprints if the requirements are not at a satisfactory level. So it's like a tug of war between the developers and the BAs, and of course the QAs we join it, right? So what do you think about this? Is it a good trend or a good bad trend? Overall, I think the future is kind of a mix. It will be like this in the future because sometimes the client also doesn't know the final requirements till it takes when they decode and finalize them during sprint sessions and grooming sessions and provide the requirements. But the world is changing really fast. It is very dynamic, and new requirements will come. They do they have the chance if you are going in agile. They do have the chance to put it in backlog and we do it later. But sometimes the new clients that we are working at today are very adamant to have certain requirements in the backlog and keep it developed later. They want it in the beginning itself. So how do you handle that kind of a client? These are the organization. So it's very difficult, right? So it is very difficult. So that's the problem. That is why the VAs, basically the business analysts, have a very tough time finalizing the requirements, writing the relevant stories and requirements, and finalizing the requirements is a challenge to them. So they have a very tough time, right? But overall, is this method is a good approach? Having organizations having a mix of agile and waterfall together. You do it in sprints, but you finalize the requirements early, everything early, and you do agile process to develop. This is the way to go. Personally, I believe that will be the future that is going, that will be the future as it stands. But will this be working in a long term? In the long term, will it be working and will it help? So just have a think about it. Have a look. Let me know your thoughts. I feel it will be the way forward, and having a mix of these two methods will be the way to go because of the business processes and uh, goals that is coming in the future, especially becoming really competitive uh, among different organizations. So just have a look, think about it, and do share your thoughts as well. So this is what I wanted to share in this video, a small video about the new trends when it comes to agile waterfall methodologies and how organizations are developing requirements and IT, developing requirements to reality and developing them. So let's see how this goes. I'll be keeping a close watch on these as well. And do share your thoughts on this thing as well, comments as well. And if you feel that this knowledge needs to be shared with someone else, do give a like and share the video with your friends as well. And don't forget to subscribe too. Thank you and have a nice day. Thanks.